All right, our last lesson this week is lesson 8, the counter pattern. This is an unplugged activity, so there aren't any actual lessons to do on code.org. So I have placed them all here. First, you want to look at the instruction worksheet, which I will go ahead and open up here, which apparently I already had open. Okay, so this is, we're going to be working on trying to start to understand the counter program. This is how we're going to actually get our sprites to move across the screen or spin continuously instead of just doing that random number like we did in the last lesson. So there's some rules we need to understand with this. If you want to print this off and use it that way, I also have Google Drawings you can use to help you out with it. Do what you need to try and figure out what all of these programs are trying to tell you. So you can just make a simple board. These have post-it notes or strings, or again, if you want to use the Google Docs, that would be fine as well. So some rules we need to think about is you're going to have label cards, must always have one and only one connector. So you can see here there is a string, that's your connector. You can only have one for each of your labels on this left side. You may not create the same label card twice, so you can only have the name once. You must create a new value card for every equals command. So your values are the ones on the right side. Value cards can only have one number written on them. So you can't write more than one. Any value card not connected to a label card at the end of the command is thrown away. So we don't need that. So commands. Run the programs in order by following the steps for each command. So step 1, find or create the label card and connector. If the command starts with var, create a new label card. So that's our variable with a word that comes before the equals. You should also give it a connector, which you will use later. If the command doesn't start with var, find the label card with the word that comes before the equals. So you need to find the label that's already there. So you only are writing a label card if there's a new variable. Step 2, calculate the number for your value card. Copy what's on the right of the equal sign to your workspace. Cross off any variable labels and replace them with the value numbers connected to them. Do any calculations on the numbers that that's what the workspace is for, and write down the final number on a new value card. Step 3, connect your label card and value card. Place your new value card in the value section. So once you figure it out, put your new one in. And then move the connector of the label card from step 1 to connect to this new value card. Take any value cards that are not connected to the label cards and throw them away. All right, so I have copied and pasted these into the Google Drawing. So program 1, we'll take a look at it here so I can show you what's going on. You will have to make a copy in order to move anything around or change anything. So I will do that first. All right, so variable width. So we have the variable, so we need to create a label card, and it's going to be width. I'm going to move that over to my labels. Okay, width equals 10, so I need another block. That is 10. That goes in my values. You can kind of see what that's what it's showing you over here. I'm going to use a line to connect my two boxes. Okay, now we have another one, var, so I need another variable. This one is height, and that's going to equal 20 plus the width. So in my workspace, I'm going to do 20 plus the width, or which is 20 plus the width is 10, so that means 30. So my height is equal to 30. And then again, I'm going to connect that to that. Okay, so that's how we get this work here. So this was kind of our sample. So our width, we don't have any to remove, that we've worked through the whole entire program. So width is equal to 10, whereas the height is equal to 30. So make sure you write that down for your week 3 of coding. Okay, let's try program number 2. Okay, var size. So we know we need a new label. Oops, forgot to make a copy. Let's close these ones we're done with. So this is size, and it right now equals 30. Get a new connector, just align, there we go. Okay, size equals 60. Okay, so let's bring in our new value is 60. So it just changed, it is now 60. Okay, size equals size plus 5. So let's see. So size plus 5 equals, so what is our size right now? Our size is 60. So 60 plus 5 equals 65. So my last label card here will be 65. Change my connector. Remove these ones. Okay, and so my final size is, what is it connected to? The 65. So again, go back to your program, type in your final size as 65. Okay, so if we have a general idea of how that process works, so I'm going to let you try program 3 and program 4 on your own. Okay, so you have a variable of age, variable of height, so you're going to have two labels. Variable age is going to start at 11, variable of height is going to start at 60, and then your age plus 1 in your workspace, and then your height plus 5. What's your final age? What's your final height? Again, make sure you record that on the Google Doc. Same thing with program 4. Okay, moving on to program 5 is going to look a little bit different, so I'm going to go over that one as well. Okay, so again, this one's been kind of done for you. So variable is smiley. Create smiley at 100, 200. So remember, X is first, then Y, X, Y. So it's at 100, horizontal, down to 200. So that's the first smiley that was created. Okay, so we have the sprite card. Oh, again, forgot to make a copy. Instead of just doing a value. So we have a variable of smiley. Okay, and then bring over the sprite card, connect them. Turn off that. Okay, so X was 100, Y was 200. Okay, and draw the sprite. So now we have this sprite here. Okay, now we have smiley X equals smiley X plus 50. So we have smiley dot X plus 50, and right now smiley X is 100, so it's going to be 100 plus 50 equals 150. So I'm going to change this, instead of creating a new card, is now 150. And then we draw the sprite again. So we have a new sprite at 150, 200. Okay, so on your Google Doc, what is the final X of your position of your smiley? And what is your final Y position of your smiley? Okay, so now you're dealing with smileys. If I go to program 6 and 7 are going to work similarly. Okay, so here's your workspace over here if you choose to use it. So variable smiley, create sprite. Okay, set animation as smiley. So you're going to start smiley.x equals 50. So it's going to be on this line, or yes, this line, because that's your X. And then your Y is 100, draw sprite. So these you can actually move if I make a copy. Let's close up these other ones. Okay, so I can move this sprite to 50, 100. Okay, and draw the sprite. All right, smiley.x equals smileyx.50. So the Y doesn't change. Again, if you want to use these, that's fine. And then you move this to where the next spot's going to be. And then you have a question. How did the sprite move across the program? What direction? Left, right, up, down, diagonal? Which way is it going? Okay, so again, find out what is the final position of your X, what is your final position of your Y, and then I would like to know what direction your smiley is moving. And you're going to do the same thing for program 7. All right, and we're going to use this counter program next week when we start moving your sprites or rotating them or changing any of the other properties. All right, I hope that helps. We will talk to you later.